SNAZZ. If your radio ain't on Vibrainiac, then I don't give a fuck. Snazz D and Master Who on all digital platforms. Dopeness 101, home of underground hip-hop. From Johannesburg to the rest of the world. Always bringing you the content. Dopeness 101.
This is Damola, and you're vibing with the Snazz show Dopeness 101 on Vibrainiac Radio.
Man liberator, death operator, rock the data, amazing flavor. Yo, the way I feel, sometimes it's too hard to sit still. Things are so passionate, times are so real. Sometimes I try to chill, mellow down, blow a smoke. Smile on my face, but it's really no joke. You feel it in the street, that people breathe without hope. They're going through the motion, they're dimming down the focus. The focus get cleared and the light turns sharp and the eyes grow teary, the mind grow weary. I speak it so clearly, sometimes y'all don't hear me. I push it past the bass note, nations got to feel me. I feel it in my bones, black, I'm so wide awake that I'm hardly ever sleep. My flow forever deep in its volumes of scriptures when I breathe on a beat. My presence speak volume before I say a word. I'm everywhere, penthouse, pavement, the curb. Cradle to the grave, talk cathedral of a shell. Universal ghetto life, holla black, you know it well. Quiet storm, vital form, pen push the bright across. Mind is a vital force, hollow a right across. Soul is the lion's roar, voice is the siren. I swing round, ring out, and bring down the tyrant. Chop a small axe and knock a giant lopsided. The world is so dangerous, it's no need for frightened. The suckers trying to hide like the struggle won't find them. Then the sun busts through the cloud to clearly remind them it's everywhere. Penthouse, pavement, the curb. Cradle to the grave, talk cathedral of a shell. Universal ghetto life, holla black, you know it well what it is. You know, they know what it is. We know, y'all know what it is. Ecstatic, there it is. Huh, what it is. You know, we know what it is. They know, y'all know what it is. You know, here it is. What it is. You know, we know what it is. They know, y'all know what it is. You know, here it is. Peace, power. Fantastic, original, and always on time, and rocking your mind. It's like
sit and come relax, riddle of the Mac, it's the patch. I'm a soldier in the middle of Iraq. What say about noonish, coming out the whip and looking at me curious, a young Iraqi kid carrying laundry. What's wrong, G? Hungry? No, give me my oil, get out my country. And in Arabian, barking other stuff till his moms come grab him and they walk off in a rush. Distrust, feeling like I was pissed up on wound. I'm like, surely hope that we can fix our differences soon. Buying apples, breaking on fruit. You take everything, why not just take it down fruit like pasta? I don't understand it. On another planet? 15 months of this stuff, how I'm gonna manage? And increasing this sentiment, gentlemen getting down on their Middle Eastern instruments. Realize trapping this crowd, walk over, kicked one of my fabulous raps. Arab jaw drop, they well wish, they glad rap. Now they get considered like an Elvis of Baghdad.
هادي ما تربحش وهادي ما تربحش، هادي ما تربحش، هادي تربح، هادي تربح، خلاص، هادي ما تربحش وهادي ما تربحش دايما على الله.
Duas crooks, guys, já estudo, olha que eu te trato em my crooks. Quero assistir shooters, tem consistent class, show off. Assume like fucking wood, use it for daily glass. Street clock, move it, carry wood, the one and criminalize. Then I pay fire, then you need to drink OS. Squad right there, try to score $1 million concept. 16, scalp 8 bucks, give them your sonnet. Click, clap. One rapper, one bullet. Wabana renzi shingla. Wabana renzi shingla. Stage stolo city, kiwa city ne first cream. Sikra yeli rhythm, kwakita ya khutrim. Sikuta simlisi mzimbi denga tufaki. Kushumbi sispiku veku kali. Amisa makuzu ati. Kwa me rock that sport, it's a murder. Ume cook, fully book, dali scoop, driver too. Dali hoop, yes I do, spani new guitar. Just someone come out and Waspinza nani shoko manikale Ube cook, schoolie boot, dali scoop, driver too. Dali hoop, yes I do, spani new guitar. Just someone come out manikale Waspinza nani shoko manikale. The days are numbered
like a calendar. Check the name and the date. The street life is what we live in. Someone is dead every day. So better watch your back, cause your death is maybe today. And money ain't the root of evil, it's actually lacking the paper. So I make moves with the gun upon my waist, cause I don't wanna wait for trouble coming down my way. Shy and Jesus, I let kinda back my gun and run away. And every night, shorts and screaming, keeping me wide awake. Until I find a way out of the hood, and that's my daily word. Spit my heart on a fat beat, make shit you never heard. I don't do sleep, move tick and never burn. Fuck the worm, my mission is eating the early bird. So Lord forgive me for the sins I know I won't repeat. The drug business, robbery, even the wars on streets. The blood is dripping off my fingers when I hold the heat. Repented now, and what I put on the table is only
okay, let's cut the talk. So I got Lisimela, if you like the fork, I'm finished with this beef. Let's move along, man, you can bring me pork. Readily, heavily, ever be swinging it this way. Remember me better be choosing a peak in a big day. Dallas Mamele, met Ilma, Dallas Pamele. Planet F, macho, mapilo, kayim, zalas pelele. Digging it raw for sure, deeper than you feel it pure. Ripping and killing it, flipping, dwelling, or it don't no more. It's 3 months cap cow. Word of advice, don't test now. Keep your word play, so that the ringers won't fall down. I'm spending cash from the longer polio. Watch out fire burn. Becky Pelty, Brooks, Nanyuki. Here we come again. Don't get it twisted, straight up, not the other way around. And shut from my skill, clear field, and kill you in your home ground. I know my way out, like I was in it for my way about, forever proud. Flies out to kill you, wiping round the crowd.
Fully booked, Dali scoop, driver two.
Dali hoop, yes I lose, party you get out.
Wasi just amo kongo tanya kale.
Wasunga Dali shoko mani kale. Books, fully booked, Dali scoop, driver two.
Dali hoop, yes I lose, party you get out.
Wasi just amo kongo tanya kale.
Wasunga Dali shoko mani kale.
Eke, dela fikelele na thuba lengaza ningene. Phakathi kwezinyo lenjakazi dakazi yeke xa kuphela imilenze yendoda namazinya zaqhekeka qanqeleke qelelele phakudehela futhe phuma kubleke phila ngophikelele zayicheck check amacala xa vaya bhala lomnyango murene mekhize ngesimba khithi bukhalile insimbi insibelo zindike sisulumke lungawisipisi kunjena apha vula ncela ukunceda ukubuyela eKapa hlamba lomhlaba uhlala badliwa indala kangaka sanrahama nezinjaba rhabulana namagaza lamaqathe kakyat matshone drimaskap kakati meke masikisi silisi wabaninzi qanda lendlela imkibilisi asibisi dubula bakwazi uyiva nabanisi lemini sidibanisi kukulethu nehezo
Koko ngenjongo sidubula sibhene ngempompo yemboko sijula amagama qaphuka indlebe zesibhorho segongo kokokokoko siphephetha kwongo kwisikolo sentrongo ngoba ngomkhondo siqopho somqopho kwingqondo nenzondo nenyongo tshela kasibhala kududuma isibhaka black ngala magama sidubule kwatsha pha khala abantwana kubhubha amagwala underground goquka amangcwaba uza bamama ebusuku sivunguza sirhuma bedrimaskaphi quqisa ngequthe sidobunga sibhuda kulo sigoquka siqula ngesibhubhe sidobula sicula lemvulise zonetha lebizulu liduduma ngvuma dala situla sibhala simane siquba sivanga bidaba sikhula nyahlanga bindlala liqubunga tyanga kubala sibuka sihamba siphana simuva sikamanga bevala sigula ngezandla my brothers pusha ngamandla.
We're about to take it back.
This is Damola, and you're vibing with the Snazz Show Dopeness 101 on Vibrainiac Radio.
And now need the cage of the rings. I'm from the game that goes bang to your dreams. So keep dreaming like a gauge in your sleep, so I can see what you thought on your sheets. I call it sheet music, like the cat on that sheet moving, the sleep movement, they seep into it. I see what you do when you're sick, I see through it, like a live leak to it, filming from a local's phone. I choke your focus gone, like hocus pocus or locust swarm. The only way you hearing the buzz over the music that they play in the clubs. Shit, sending the thugs, baby, show me some love. I see the haters, they ain't fucking with us. They ain't fucking with us.
Never that it, I'm better at it, you little fuck. Whoever at it got bullet tatted, the full of bandage. I'm laughing at it, try to find a little good in us. Good luck, motherfucker, night, motherfucker.
Smoke blunts, you know the black is potent. Don't front, you know I got you open. At lunch with the snakes and pigeons. Front, get punched in your face for living. Listen, I'll be in your wig, you seeing this riddle. My dreams is big, my crib is little. Living in the field is risky. Niggas green with envy, but I'm Bill Bixby. Mr. McGee, don't get me angry. You wouldn't like it when I'm angry, listen. P, new Lou for Rick, no. Big bullets that shoot through you and your kinfolks. Rock from Helter, non-clap, spine tapping, fuck your felt up. Enough to the whack boy. Biggest nigga in my group, buffing the fat boys, pig.
Never that it, I'm better at it, you little fuck. Whoever at it got bullet tatted, the full advantage. I'm laughing at it, try to find a little good in us. Good luck, motherfucker, night, motherfucker.
I'm crumbling the dope, 2 G's in a bucket. Big bundle for the rope, 20 G's for the nugget. Doing slaloms in the slope, my machinery's rugged. You pussy with a shit stain, bikini is muddy. Break levee when I rain till the vicinity flooded. So I could test my human skin canoe. This is only a small portion, I'm giving you a snippet view. Trailer visual, sicker than salmonella chicken flu. My creative juice come from a different fruit.
Your minions are winning a battle. You have conquered this realm.
A new style has been developed.
A new style has been found.
Oh my God. It's the casualties of raw.
Dungeon Keeper, advance!
You need a bigger library for your creatures to handle dungeon keepers. Done the research. Atypical like everyday newborn babies in Babel die where we come from. A world scorn torn from original umbilical cord form and now numb. Ever since 9 months young, gradually we got dumb as a natural apple eating Adam, even eating, leaving the fastest way from alpha A to beta B being ducking ample gamble traps. War with fucking dungeon rats, scramblers for lump sums too fundamental in terms of oral custom. You heard of me leading urban herds, drive emerging words to curb third world hunger. We hoof it, terrain tracks, erase swag, graffiti, cattle, no bullshit. Get handled like your axe bodies, pongas quick. See the stolly dolly llama for a cut. In fact, you want some casualties of raw. Got grimy karma smeared on my aura armor. Swear it on my honor. Black police, rattlesnake, tattletales. They'll chase you till you're on some magistrate's case. Keeps the captain's race pace. One up on some fucking court for sports shit. No weak amp still hassles my castle. I pack for the herd trip. Keeps me looking all alert. Code booking on the turf, kid. Code blue armor fitted when I footed, hooded. Papa Smurf tip. On my own too I stand. Agile, battle cat, known to kick that ass. Fall bad to the bonus. So while employers, lawyers for the cash crops. Asshole behaviors, learn kids' habits. Siggies and BD stab lungs. Still other butt facts pass on. What for back rubs is strange labor. Night prowlers and red zones crowded. We do y'all dead wrong. Bloody gentlemen to run from such head on. Casualties raw sun. Wax up heated baselines. Needed a bikini lines on beach bumps. But let me redefine every rhyme. Pen on pad runs. A new style is ready to go.
My brother Joel went to see Dave Chappelle amidst the pandemic. I say he brave as hell, blaze the trail. Just don't take a major L. I'ma wait, save the date, save yourselves. Next thing you know, he brings his things to Yellow Springs and says to spread his wings has been the stuff of dreams. Oh well, time to pull another book from the shelves. Feels like he got a story to tell. This rhythm is taking me back.
You keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
You know it's time for a change, don't you?
And something has to change.
Losing time, gotta stay focused.
Cause I'm losing time.
You won't get far if you don't stay open.
What if I take it too far?
Ooh,
215.
it's all in your head.
Yeah.
Don't let it get to you. It's all in your head.
I feel he got a story to tell.
Set yourself free, my love.
I can feel he got a story to tell.
Set yourself free.
Think about hints announced in the crowd. Man was crowned king of South Africans, African, half-eaten. When the crowds cannot shout and the mouths stink of gout. Think aloud, baby, and maybe stand. Hate each man. Think about Lady Tam who went around, baby, and think about.
Yeah, I make street music and hardcore be the name. A frame not predicted is Nostradamus to blame. Not some jelly tots, flavor apricots, but a rush on chariots. Dimensions unthinkable with my compatriots. On lens of steel, shoes with magnetic field to gravitate a raw deal. The code to use the mic is just a skill to access a stream of thoughts and poetic ferocity. It's the only probe to penetrate galaxies in high velocity and back to have a crunch. I be the bully so hide your lunch. I got semi-solid words at this with mini punch. Revolution emerging to crush your shaking entity. gravity, so that joint should come straight. Cause I kill geometrically, geocentrically, neo-tragically. It's kinda heavy, this Debbie. A deal that's made of steel like Alex Murphy. Street pirate on the dialect, to profile that, to walk a minded. X-raying pad, ultraviolet. Day 7 was a classic when it came. Good Jesus, now they fear us. Immortals like McLeod and Ramirez. Mutual collective, glows light so massive. Consume this era is captive. Explosion radioactive.
Think about Lizzie Sam who went around, part of an 80s scam. The day he banged a lady hanged in his latest van. Think about the graves he planned, 80s man, baby. And think about hints announced in the crowd. Man was crowned king of South African, stuff written, half eaten. When the crowds cannot shout and the mouths stink of God. Think aloud, baby, and maybe stand, hate each man. Think about Lazy Sam who went around, baby, and think about
I don't have a role model, I have no regrets, cause I plan on instinct.
This is Damola, and you're vibing with the Snazz Show Dopeness 101 on Vibrainiac Radio.
Let the truth lie, for the thread of life is die. This verse is worse, a part of a curse from Father Time's purse. This caliber of skill confused the nurse. Doctors declared no cure. This caliber of skill confused the nurse. Detected on no cure. The rest of the story can only be told by the driver of the hearse with eyes wide shut in a casket. This mind state can grind a 2-kilogram nugget of gold. When I was young, I grew old. The heat of the sun was too cold. Took hold of this honey bull called life by the horns. And oh yes, I've heard gongs, sent thongs, sang songs, right wrongs. But to be a god is what my heart longs. Is what my heart longs.
SNAZZ. If your radio ain't on Vibrainiac, then I don't give a fuck. Snazz D and Master Who.
Ghostface killers in the raid. Yellow tape, purple tape. Heat the Pyrex till it break. I'ma heat the Pyrex till it break. Ghostface killers in the raid. My nigga in the feds with no day. I'ma heat the Pyrex till it break for you, nigga. I'ma heat the Pyrex till it break. This what God stepping out the clouds look like. Fuck what it costs, what it cook like. I wrote the cocaine Quran. I told you once we get the cocaine, it was on. Alhamdulillah. I do prayer while the Tesla drive itself, banging Mob Deep. The bricks came whiter than John B. My young boy drumming on him like he Tommy Lee. He might lead your whole crew, that's fine with me. 1,000-gram Cuban all diamondy. Got Marcy digging in the crate like he Diamond D. They like you came to save this shit, Lord, finally. Ballin' on these niggas, triple-double God is 3. By today, he hold a ghost. He walk on water and he know the coke. Nigga, this the overdose. The greatest thing to hang from the cross, the sacrificial goat. Chopper in the Montclair coat, don't get smoked. I built a bed out of money just to lay on it. The tech echo like it got delay on it. I've been getting at it without a mention. White sand make the Cayman Beach look like my kitchen. Fuck a pension, I had 200 in 07. The plot went smooth as Ocean's 11. Got the feds asking, can we talk like Tevin Campbell? In a Milano hoodie pocket, 100 bands on me. This breath of fresh air blow the flame out a candle. Santeria, wrap a head on the mantle. You rather a bullet or the karma get you? Fuck it, I let a bullet be your karma. Bet it calm you niggas lost. I've been here like I work for dumb. I'm the dawn. I'm the dawn. I'm the dawn. Created all this from bending these rules. Alkaline water, infinity pool. I gave you validity back, nigga, you was on spin cycle. Reading the contract like this shit gotta be a typo. Type of nigga you think you dealing with. I dropped the ceiling to the bins on them niggas screaming, fell in there. Fill a rental, full of work, then we jet. Fill a rose, pushing up on the set. Feel the high that you get from the lie.
Country style, Dolly Party. I'm cashless, I'm African. You still come test, you on your back again. While I walk these heads, you hardly started. And I got the legs of your Dolly Party. Jumbo Jack, we coming back, running Running tracks, selling wax, budding champs, eating shrimp, cousin black, being pimps. One in stack, shutting rap. You try to rhyme, chances are you buying time like MasterCard. Your life is mine, I'm taking it. With flavorous type of rhymes, making it for paper kid on thresholds. I rap so sports vision, vets full. Abort missions, put them in pension zones. Board sitting with boards knitting. I shake the world. Up to you like Phillies. Make your girl touch your titties. Take a pulse, stuff a silly. The only thing rough and rugged about you is your condoms. Make nothing of it while you're hard and bothered. Used to have a gutter crew, now we in front of you. Talking like you scolding when all your single summer proof. If you seriously contemplating beef with me, consider this. Your hate got your boy scheming on your prerogatives. Use a crab, but use a beat boy now. Don't make me have to show you how I put a toy down. You went behind the ears, I'll be your blow dryer. Get behind your career, I'm bringing more fire. Try resist, you might insist on higher hits. Karaoke versus a perverted verb scientist. Killing streets, 4 million sheets. You listen chief, I just guess I got that winning streak. I'm cashless, and I'm African. So come test, kid, you on your back again. And while I rock these heads, you hardly started. And I got the legs of your dolly party. Yo, I eat to live, you live to eat. I cheat to live, you live to cheat. Off the world, master her, hear you singing, catch me, you sing the
SNAZZ. If your radio ain't on Vibrainiac, then I don't give a fuck. Snazz D and Master Who on all digital platforms. Dopeness 101, home of underground hip-hop. From Johannesburg to the rest of the world, always bringing you the content. Dopeness 101.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to welcome to the stage my man's Damola. Damola is a rapper from Cat City, you know what I'm saying? And I've been a fan since I think the first time I heard this cat on the Hype magazine, little promo CDs. He had done a track on the same CD that I was on, and I remember listening to my track and all proud and shit. And then I heard his joint and I was like, uh-oh. And over time, I remember it was that track and a very early youngster CPT that was also on the same CD, and I was like, oh shit, these two cats are serious competition. Damola, what's up, man? Please tell me, with regards to those Hype CDs, it sounded like you already accomplished. You understand? Like when I heard your track, I was like, yo, the production is sick. Your sound quality is dope. How did you get into this thing of recording so professionally at such an early stage?
Hey, peace, Snazz. And thank you for having me on your show. Yeah, I came to South Africa in 2002, and we formed a crew called Urban Militia in 2003. The Ghanaian brother of mine, Carl Onu, and Romeo McKay, and Ntlantla Timukulu. We were friends at the University of Pretoria. And then by 2004, I met Yambo. And he encouraged me to do solo songs, actually. And through Yambo, I met Ken Zero, I met Mizzy. And, there was a constellation of producers that were interested in what I was doing. And they facilitated recording in studios that are quite standard and not the substandard type equipment. And even with the group, we would throw parties to raise money so we can go record at MMD. So that ethic was always there from the get-go, that we needed to make music that we could take to Tebow Touch and go play on radio, which we did, 2004-ish. So that was a mentality for us quite early. And by the time you were hearing me on Hype, which should have been 2007, 8, 9-ish, I mean, that's 5-6 years post picking up the sensibilities around what sound quality should be like. I cannot say the same for now. Right now, I actually don't care about the clean sound anymore. I like the distortions now. I want some, I want some of that static in the music, and not necessarily record static even. It must sound like it's DIY. I think there's value to that nowadays. But yeah, that's how we got to that level in terms of making music in proper studios. But in terms of just accomplishment around my skill level, I mean, I've been doing it since 97, 96, like writing my own stuff by 97, and recorded my first joint from CD to a tape in 99. So, so I earned quite a few stripes in terms of just writing stuff down and humming to myself and studying the cats that I thought were dope, including you. I saw you on TV and I thought you and Mischief. Those are, for me, those are important inspirational figures in terms of what I ended up doing. Yourself and Mischief are quite important to me.
Yeah, man, I was blowing up, man. I didn't have time for little niggas, man. I'm kidding. Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because we went through a lot of, learning the ropes. How can I say? Physically, experientially. Yeah, there's no such word. Like, we learned by hitting our heads, you know what I mean? You go to studio, you realize that he's overcharging you, that you don't have the budget, and that at the current rate, you will have to pay X amount to get your album done. We learned these things physically, like, by going to these places, by doing shows and getting ripped off. Nowadays, kids have everything handed to them on the silver platter called the silver screen. You know what I mean? Kids can just Google the shit like, okay, so studio's this much, we're gonna need this much. You know what I mean? What do you think is better? Do you think it's better to have the experience? And while this may sound like a rhetorical question, I don't think it is. I think there's a lot of positive advantages to having the information, but there's also experiences. The thing with the experiences, I think that it really it can hold you back. I know a lot of cats that quit rap, man. They just got day jobs and, got married and have kids and, life intervened in their plans. So my question is to you, which do you think is better, experience or having the knowledge on hand on a computer screen? In terms of a young rapper trying to learn the ropes.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because even back then, for us as a crew, we were not necessarily wet behind the ear. We made inquiries. So we went to M&D or multiracial studios. We went and got the performer quotation. We knew how long the session was. We knew how much we needed to pay. And then we came together to raise the money from our pocket money, or as I said, we would throw parties or put together rap shows to then raise the money for studio and to buy CDs and to print some kind of artwork on them, things of that nature. I don't recall the live show situation much in terms of how that could have put me in a place of, getting the short end of the stick. But I just wanted to rap, and actually at that time, I would drive to Soweto. Nobody was paying me to go there. I would drive wherever just to go and rap. Sharpeville, I would just drive there to go record with cats, to go rap. And every now and then they hit me off with, gas money. Maybe there was some pizza or something. And Hype, we got a bit of dough for that. So we did bump heads, and our bumping heads was mostly my experience with a record label. So we had a meeting with Gallo Records, and there was this dude called Tabiso that hosted us, and we played our songs for him, and then he said our music sounded like underground New York shit. And then a few weeks later, he signed an artist that sounded like underground New York shit. And to be quite frank, I thought there was a makwere factor there. So I was disenchanted, and I never went back to a record label. Actually, at that point, I never thought that music was going to feed me. I realized that I was going to make music as an outlet, as a creative outlet for the rest of my life. And I'm not going to engage with some kind of a gatekeeper. So for the kids out there, I think you need to have a to-do list. You need to know what you want to do, and sometimes you might even find that the information you're looking for might not be online. It might be, you might require a referral. You might need to go speak to someone who hibernates and does not have an Instagram or something, particularly if you want a particular sound. Some guy that, I know a few of them. They're not available. You need to find them, and then you might get the kind of beat that you're looking for. So it's a mixed bag, but obviously, from an efficiency point of view, it's much easier to pull out your smartphone and get all the details and use ChatGPT to get all the steps required, and then create your to-do list and then start crossing things off that list.
So word on the street is that you can play every instrument on stage like Prince. How true is this, and what instruments can you play, and how did you learn to incorporate live instrumentation with like keys and stuff with making beats? Because I've heard some of your beats and I'm loving it. And on a related question, who were some of the producers you admire?
The word on the street is false. I cannot get on stage and play everything like Prince. Actually, I was in Lagos and I was at a show. It's a live show. And this Ghanaian Afrobeat, Afro-funk legend called Gedu Blay Ambole was on stage. He was performing that day, and then a friend of mine called Wura Samba, who's a percussionist, called me to say I should come to the green room to come meet Gedu Blay, and I must bring some trees because Gedu Blay likes to smoke trees. So I went and hung out with Gedu Blay. Gedu Blay got on stage and Gedu Blay got off stage, and I hung out with Gedu Blay after his performance, and we got to talking about a lot of stuff. But what he told me was, he said I needed to pick up an instrument. This was 2012, 2015-ish. Yeah, 2015 or 2016. It must have been 2015. He said I needed to pick up an instrument, that I cannot just be a vocalist. And that's pretty much when it started. And I just got a keyboard, got a guitar, and it was accelerated when COVID happened because then you're stuck in the house. And I got a teacher to teach me a bit of music theory in 2020, maybe 2021. This is all recent stuff. And that's pretty much it. I took 2 months of lessons, and ever since then, I mean, I can understand the syntax. I know my notes, my chords, susses, roots, and all this kind of stuff. And I can read and I can play it. So it's all practice. And when you're doing that in studio, it's much easier than when you're playing live. So, I mean, once I know the key of whatever sample I'm working on, I can pretty much play some flourishes on it, either on the guitar or the keyboard. So it's the guitar and the keyboard mostly that I incorporate into my beat making. And I would say that the RZA is a big influence on me. The RZA, Easy Mo B, I love the Bump Squad. I like music that makes people uncomfortable. And this might be unpopular, but I also like rap music that girls don't like. You know, when my girlfriend does not like the track, I know I have a hit. So, I mean, I do like the R&B-esque, like very structured, peak rockish stuff as well. I love Large Professor. I mean, yeah, all that native tongue stuff, it's girl hip hop. It's girls rap music, which I do like, but it's not really there for me. It's not what if I want to get into a zone, I'm gonna play the RZA. And Umbulelo, Sam Samos is my favorite producer in South Africa. He's a genius. I worked a lot with Yamba as well, who's dear to me. Iron Feather and Rebel Nation, Rebel Eye, Mizzy, Kenny. I mean, these are all guys that I've worked with. Mr. C. I like Mr. C's production, but I like the grittiness. I like the clashing of key signatures, which is not meant to happen, but it works, which I think the RZA, to some extent, I would even say Easy Mo B was probably at the forefront of. So the clashing of key signatures, which is not supposed to go together, and the off-time of drums and all that, and not making it too sanitized, not making it too clean. That is the kind of sound that I like, and there's a lot more producers that work with that kind of aesthetic. When it's too saccharine and too clean and too clear, and girls love it, it doesn't work for me. So yeah, that is. And thank you for digging my production. I don't have a lot of people. Well, I don't really share it much, but the few people that I've shared it with would always tell me, "Don't you want to make this cleaner? Don't you want to make this? But you know you can make this better." I'm like, what? The idea is also to kind of churn out a lot of musical ideas. I'm churning out musical ideas all the time. So when I have the time, I can even get session musicians, and we can get into a studio and kind of replay some of the musical ideas that I have. I think they can be compelling in terms of the direction and the approach. So yeah, thanks for that.
Peace. Man, I think that, the cleanliness of a track is mainly manufactured music, you know. It's very like they trying to appeal to a wider audience in order for sales. And when you're creative like yourself, I think you're ready to explore and break boundaries, and this is good, you know. And in terms of rhyme writing, my man, like when I listen to your rhymes, I can't help noticing that your mind is all over the place. Where do you draw your inspiration from? Like, how do you get inspired to write a rhyme? I know as a rhyme writer myself, I know that there should be a theme and I try and stick with it, but my mind wanders, you know. But when what I've noticed about how you write, it's very obscure. It's like it's almost like you have an idea that if you mention the pyramids of Giza as a simile, you know, like my style, this is hypothetical, my style is higher than the pyramids of Giza, the image that you conjure up by mentioning the pyramids of Giza, it lends a very exotic touch to your rhymes. Now, that being said, I've noticed that you touch on, there was this one verse that I heard from you. It's the one that we did on stage at the hands of Tat. It is such a simple word, Tat, you know, but immediately, like when I heard it, you know, it conjured up like, you know, the pyramids and the vault underneath the pyramid and hieroglyphics, all this by one word. And I've noticed that you do this a lot in your rhymes, and that's question number one. How do you manage to do that? And then also, like, I've noticed that your rhyme scheme is fresh, man. It's fresh. It reminds me of Motion Man, you know, or Cool Keith, in that it doesn't rhyme on that. It doesn't have like a clear-cut rhyme scheme, but there are rhymes in between. How did you learn to do that? Like, and you know, well, I think I know the answer, but just for our listeners, I mean, for me, it's like, you know, having written many rhymes, you kind of get bored with the same old, you know. But I've noticed that, like, you know, like, especially with your comparisons, you know, you draw on so many influences. Where does this come from?
Peace, bro. And thank you about the rhyming. There are two questions there. How I think about the schemes and the impetus around vividness and being able to be poignant. And also, I suppose at some level, parsimonious and with the words, so that there's a level of efficiency. I think the best way to talk about that is my arc. So when we started, you know, mid-teenage, it was pretty much just to learn the rhyming, and then by 96, 97, it was more about battling, you know, battling and being able to demonstrate a command of English language words. And then by the late 90s, I kind of snapped out of that. The guys I was listening to were telling stories more than being rapidy rap about their approach. So that fascinated me, and also just studying albums and within albums, the different songs, how one approaches the intro, how track 4 and track 8, it's always dope. Track 2 on records is always the female track. There's the track to the homies. If you think about those early 90s like albums, even the late 80s ones. So I studied all that, and by the time I got to make my record, I started out actually quite linear. It was pretty linear when I started out. It was because it was kind of learning do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? And the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do for an MC comes with rhyming on the 4, and I did that. And as you said, eventually one gets bored of that. Obviously, over time, you start to experiment. I started experimenting pretty early. I was already experimenting by 2005-06, having a lot more internal rhyme scheme approach. So that was always there, and I tried to incorporate my reading and my observation. So it's just studying and just observations and listening and hearing how things rhyme. So it could even be a car driving past me. It might play in my head. It could be a thunder and how it reverberates and the rhyming in it. All these kinds of things, somehow I maintain them inside my head. And when I'm writing, I try to conjure up the aesthetic or the sensibilities of whatever it is that I hear, to utilize it as a device. And that was much more deliberate. So, late 2000s, there's still a lot of linearity. But by the time I went back to Nigeria in 2012, I went back to Nigeria and I was a bit isolated. I started experimenting way more. And by that time, by 2012-13, I was also the frontman for an acid jazz band in Lagos for a few months in 2015, which forced me to rap and stay on time with very polyrhythmic types of drumming, and that stayed with me. From like 2016, 2017, there wasn't that much of an influence anymore. It was more about me just executing whatever it is that I want to say. So I could be looking at a photo and I can write 16 bars about that photo, even if I try to draw references, which one could call non sequiturs or could be surrealist in nature, but it would still be about the photo or a feeling or an emotion. I've gotten to a place where I don't even think twice about that anymore. So if I need to write this, and it usually works with the instrumental beats that drives my pen. Sometimes I don't need a beat. I hear the beats in my head. So if I'm distracted in a queue somewhere, I can just start writing, and I'll write exactly what I feel, and inadvertently, it just rhymes. It's not even deliberate anymore. It's rhyming. The rhyming just happens. And to go back to being poignant and being able to conjure up visualizations that the listener could run with, that was also quite deliberate back in the day. But now, I think I've internalized and figured out a modality that is now habitual in some way to do that. And it's a literary device as well, which then requires that I read. So I read all kinds of stuff, and I don't have any issues with any kind of literature. So, I might not be able to learn from a particular piece of literature in terms of a philosophy, but I can learn from the style of writing. I can learn from the use of words. I like how non-English people use the English language, because they typically would translate from their native tongue to express in English, and that comes with a lot of poetic value. So I keep an ear out for that. And Yoruba language it comes with a lot of poetry in the way in which it is used as a language. A lot of riddles, a lot of metaphors. So, and it's beyond that. So I try to listen just to hear how people use language, the English language, and I've also been trying to learn some French and see, how that grammar works. Even German to some level, you get to pick some of these things up. I dated a Swiss German girl for a few years. And just incorporating all these things into expression from an art perspective, you get to figure out how to draw emotions from people in terms of how you use metaphors and words so that it is a visceral feeling for the listener. And to be frank, it is also for me, because when I listen back, I kind of feel that too. It's almost like it's almost like it's not my song when I listen back. And to a large extent, I'm actually making the music I've been making for the last 10 years or so. I make them for me. It so happens that other people might like it. So from a rhyming perspective, that was a quick arc. There was a lot that happened in between. We probably don't have time for that, but that's essentially what has led to the rhyme scheming and the use of choice words to conjure up emotions and visuals and feelings.
Oh, that's dope. My next question is, how do you think the relationship between technology and hip-hop will play out in the near future? For example, AI and hip-hop, do you think it will work for or against us? And also, what do you see happening for hip-hop in the near future regarding visualization techniques in technology?
Thanks for that. The hip-hop is a technology-driven or technology-enabled art form. If we think about the requirement for instruments prior to what the forebearers of hip-hop did, even though some of the earlier songs were just live instrumentation of loops, but eventually we got to a point where it was turntables and then drum machines coming in. So a lot of the hip-hop that we know of has been mostly technology driven. So hip-hop and technology are somewhat inseparable. When it comes to AI has already been used. I've been in studios where people sample and then just get AI to match drums to a sample. AI helps to figure out keys to songs, time signatures. AI has actually always been embedded based on the sophisticatedness of the technology that was being used. Now you can split songs into stems and then take them out. AI is doing this kind of stuff. So AI is always going to be there. And it also has to do with the listener and the consumer of it. So some people wouldn't mind AI generated music, and some of us might not like that. Some of us might not like the predictability of the AI stuff, or how it's almost grounded in some kind of orthodoxy, especially if you're not interested in if you're a heterodox, and if you're not interested in what is hip. And I think AI for the most part will be learning all the hip stuff and then reproducing that. From a visualization perspective, I'm not so much of I'm not that knowledgeable in terms of visuals and stuff, but the little that I can say, I mean, people are already using their phones to make videos now. I mean, if you look at someone like JPEG Mafia and look at some of his earlier videos, this guy just used this feature phone. It's not even a smartphone to shoot videos, and the guy he tours. He's making a living out of this music. I think it also depends on how refined whoever the artist is, or how refined the artist wants the presentation to be. So there's an art direction question, and surely AI can give you the most refined things, but I still believe there's a lot of ideas that are not necessarily ubiquitous for AI to grab onto and use to represent the mass or people who intend to use AI to visualize stuff for them. So I mean, I come from that school. I'm not necessarily interested in AI making videos for me or all the other stuff. I'd rather take a picture with my phone. Or remember those old-timey Indian films where there would just be a random zoom into a flower, into a petal? I would do something like that with the hardest beat. The combination of those two ideas. I'm not sure AI is calibrated to do those kinds of things. And those are the kind of things that I would think about and I would want to do. Show the way in which I'm twiddling my toes, and just making stuff up around that idea, and then, superimposing some funky ass beat on it and some fresh funky rhymes. That is what that would be my kind of thing. But if I'm collaborating with people and we iterate and we find an AI-generated drum loop that works with a sample that I've made or something, I can go with that. But to make the whole music all AI, I'm not sure I'm interested in that. And I know that there will be people that are interested in it, and God bless them.
Okay. I was gonna ask you your top 10 movies and top 10 books, but I think we've got enough. Yeah, hey, man. Listen, man, it's really been an honor having you on the show. You know what I mean? We gonna cut your shit the fuck off, because your top 10 was it's top 50. It's top 50. Top 68. Guys. In closing, my brother, what are you working on now, and when can we expect it? And what is up with Iron Fortress, this project that I've just heard like whispers about on the street? Apparently it's you, Confab, and Blue Buttons with this cat called Snazz D. What's that about? Yeah, that's the closing, and please take care of yourself. We hope to see much more of you in the future, and thank you for coming through for us. You know what I mean?
Top 10 favorite lyricists. There's some tautology in there. It's okay. Shit. I love Kool Keith. I love Nas. I wish I can put Wu-Tang Clan into one person. but that would be cheating, right? So I like Ray. I like Cool G Rap. I like Slick Rick. I like the Jizza. I like Q-Tip. I like Prodigy from All D. I like Ghost. I like Ghostface Killer. I think I'm already on 10, right? Yeah, man. So that's pretty much it. And I'd like to thank you for having me on. This has been a pleasure. But yeah, brother, thank you so much. And one love. Peace. This is Damola, and you're vibing with the Snazz Show Dopeness 101 on Vibrainiac Radio for that ass.
SNAZZ. If your radio ain't on Vibrainiac, then I don't give a fuck. Snazz D and Master Who on all digital platforms. Dopeness 101. Home of underground hip-hop. From Johannesburg to the rest of the world. Always bringing you the content. Dopeness 101.